We're in, I don't know, is Vienna, and we're the land is called Austria. Guys, now we're in Austria, and the city is Vienna, and now we're gonna explore the city. Follow me. Hard rock.
Ale, ale, ale.
Let me know which superhero is your favorite from these. And which Minecraft character? Here is Star Wars. Minecraft. And he's carrying it.
Our phone is.
We're gonna go to the souvenir shop. Hey guys, we are eating right now corn dogs. How much does a ride cost? Famous church. There's a kebab shop. Kebab shop. Now we're gonna see some attractions in Vienna. We booked a guide in Vienna. Please hear to the guide and enjoy the view.
Palaces of Habsburgs, former palaces of Habsburgs. In the city of Vienna, we will ride on the Ring Boulevard, which is the most beautiful boulevard in this part of the world, I would say. It is on our right hand side right now, but we will visit first, which I pass by here. Hundertwasserhaus. Hundertwasser was the artist of 20th century, very famous one in Austria. very special one. He was the one who actually believed that we are stealing from the nature and that we have to give it back somehow. But if you take a look to the right now, you will see the river Vienna. There are so many things to see, you know, it is impossible. Sometimes we will have to look to the left and to the right at the same time. So it is not easy. Yeah, it is not easy to guide Vienna, to guide around here, because almost every single house is connected to some legend or history. But the Hundertwasser over there, you can see all these works of him, you can see his paintings, there is also a movie about him, and so on and so on. Very special person who decided to move away. So he moved to New Zealand. He believed that over there he is actually very close to the nature and to invite the nature in it. So it is very difficult to get an apartment over there. It is almost impossible actually, because all these houses are very special. On the roof of these houses we have vegetation, and this is the best isolation. River Vienna, but there are a lot of creeks around the city, so they are all roofed. Yeah. By streets, so it is not possible to see them, but we know that they are here. And Danube is very special in Vienna, because we have 4 arms of this river here, and this was the small Danube, approximately 1 kilometer ahead. We have over there the main there in 17th and 19th century, and this became so modern, and every European capital wanted to have something like this, and all of them were demolished over these decades, but this one in Vienna remained, and we are very proud of it. So goes back to the 1st century. Romans came here, they stayed until 5th century. Then we had this great migration, all these pagan tribes from north of Europe or east of Europe were passing by. They were heading towards west of Europe or south of Europe. Some of them stayed around here. And then somewhere in 9th century, I'm sure that you have heard of Charles Charles, yes. So he was the one who sent this Luitpold Babenberg. He defeated also Czech Bohemian king in the battle near to Vienna, and he was allowed to stay. So he established the monarchy and also the dynasty Habsburg. So I told you already 500 of person. Then a few meters away from him is my favorite Joseph II, the smartest one. He was also kind of handsome. And then few steps away from Joseph, you will see the ugliest one on the Graben Street of this black column. So, but now we are on the Ring Road, Ring Boulevard, so we have to start with all these beautiful buildings around us. The one on our left hand side is the former Ministry of War. So you can see a huge building, Francis Joseph, you know the one? Yeah, he was the one who started the World War I. Yeah, and Francis Joseph, yeah, he ruled a huge territory, 50 million people. So he had, he needed actually such a big building, such a big Ministry of War. In the ground floor, above windows, you can see some heads with helmets, and these helmets represent every single every single state in the monarchy, and every single state was represented with a different uniform. So on our left hand side, the building out of red bricks is our Museum and Academy of Applied Arts. What is applied arts? It is nothing else but design. Design, all these things we use in the daily life are here, but all of them, of course, they were designed by great Austrian architects or artists. Have you heard of Gustav Klimt? Yes. Joseph Hoffmann? No, Joseph Hoffmann was actually the most famous designer from the beginning of 20th century, in the early 20th century. He was a member of Vienna.
First built-in kitchen, first cabinet kitchen, and this one was designed by a lady, by one Viennese architect who wanted to have in her own kitchen everything in hand's reach.
and it's amazing kitchen. So it is really beautiful. We could even we can even use it today. She painted it in blue. Do you have any idea why blue color? Strauss' son, Johann Strauss Jr., the king of waltz. I'm sure that you all have heard of this blue technique waltz. This blue technique waltz would be let's say the second anthem of Austria. So Johann Strauss, he was very productive, the man. Sometimes he didn't know in the morning what the aristocracy is going to dance in the evening. He was just producing waltzes. He was also a very special person. I cannot understand what all these ladies saw in him, but he was very, very, very beloved. Century, all these beautiful palaces around us were built for only one family. Imagine this. So the palace on our left hand side is the palace of Ludwig Victor. He has got the nickname Luzi. He was homosexual, and 130 years ago it was a no-go. Yeah, so he was invited to a ball, and he came in a dress. So his brother Francis Joseph decided to send him to exile, so he was not allowed to come back to Vienna, officially of course. The building opposite of it, where you can see McDonald's, this McDonald's is also kind of historical place in the city because it is the oldest one in Vienna, so 50 years old. But the building belonged to the man who, his name was Wertheim, and Mr. Wertheim, he invented the safe, the treasure, and of course the sewing machine. So he became so rich that he was able to build this beautiful palace just opposite of the palace of Ludwig Victor. But if you now look to the right over there, the white building with flags above the entrance over there is our Hotel Imperial. So Imperial Suite over there cost 5,500 euros per night, breakfast excluded. Yeah, and no breakfast. So if you want to have breakfast, you have to go to McDonald's. Yeah, enlightened emperor of 18th century, and the mayor said yes, we have it in one museum in the 7th district, and then she asked if she can sleep in this bed, and the bed was brought from museum to this hotel for her. Yeah, so very special wish of Queen Elizabeth. So if you take a look to the left, you will see the fontaine over there, and this fontaine marks the end of this water pipeline. Viennese water is one of the best waters in the world, and the monument behind is the monument to Unknown Soldier. Unknown Soldier was the soldier that we will talk about this on our way back to the first district. Now on our left hand side we have this beautiful palace. It is Schwarzenberg Palace, Dynasty Schwarzenberg. They also still exist. They are from Czech Republic. If you go to Prague one day you will hear about them. They are still politically active. One of them, he died recently. He was the Prime Minister of Czech Republic several years ago. And now we are heading to Belvedere. Belvedere is the most significant Baroque palace in the world. So no Schönbrunn, no Versailles, but Belvedere. It is very special because it is a small ensemble, it is a small complex where we have two palaces, Lower Belvedere.
Vienna during the second siege of Vienna, so I'm sure that you have heard of this. So we had two sieges around here, and the first one took place in the early 16th century and the second one in the late 17th century. And Prince Eugene started his military career in this battle for Vienna in September 1683. He pushed weapons, his arms. He didn't have enough time to collect his tent.
Now we're going to the Belvedere Palace.
So elegant,
Just looking like a wow.
so beautiful,
So elegant.
just looking like a
Wow. Who lived here? Who lived here?
వాళ్ళు చెప్పేటప్పుడు నువ్వు వినలేదా?
No.
వన్ ఆఫ్ ది కింగ్.
I slept. I sleep.
Back to this topic, this monument over there on our right hand side, Soviet monument, it was built in a week. You can imagine, erected in 1 week. So the very fast Soviets in April 1945, Soviet army reached reached Vienna. They liberated the city. I always say there is always a discussion between historians. Some of them say that it was the occupation. 60,000 people died in it. So Soviets, they decided to celebrate this victory and they erected this monument. So Austria obliged itself with a treaty. Treaty of Austria, Austrian treaty was signed in the building on our right hand side. Radetzky, have you heard of Radetzky? Radetzky March?
No.
Have you ever watched this New Year's concert? Right. But now we are on the Charles Square. Please take a look to the left. Over there we have the Museum of City of Vienna, and this beautiful church with this huge green cupola is Charles Church, the most beautiful Baroque church in the country. And on our right hand side, this red building is the Musikverein. So New Year's concert takes place every year here in this Golden Hall, 1st of January, 10 o'clock. And this concert takes place in Schönbrunn, but I will talk about it as soon as we get there. Please. Garden, and this was the private garden of the royal family. The white statue over there is Mozart. Yeah? Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. He came to Vienna when he was 25 and he stayed 10 years long. He lived 10 years long here. These 10 years were the most productive years of Mozart. 2,500 halls and rooms. On our left hand side, Museum of Fine Arts, opposite of him Natural History Museum. Between two museums, Maria Theresa Square, you can see her statue in the middle of the square. Behind Maria Theresa, there it was the former garage of Habsburgs. So 600 horse carriages and sometimes up to 3,000 horses. Horse was the present. You know, all these kings, when they were visiting someone like them, they didn't take with them a bottle of wine and flowers. They took a horse. Horse was a beautiful place. Over there, unfortunately, arrived for Francis Joseph, his cousin at the same time. Hope that they will find a partner, another partner. So it's so sweet. But this garden is very special because of the World War II. We have like this. This is 200 years old, more than 200 years old. Napoleon Bonaparte. He was here. He conquered.
Okay, this is Folks Garden.
And he stayed 10 years long. He lived 10 years long here, this 10th fort. So Quad Fort, everything started in 2,500 halls and rooms. On our left hand side, Museum of Fine Arts, opposite of him Natural History Museum. Between, you can see her statue in the middle of the square. Behind Maria Theresa, there it was the former garage of Habsburgs. So 600 horse carriages and sometimes up to 3,000 horses. Yeah? So I'll take you to this beautiful place. Over there, Unfortunately, roses don't bloom yet, but we have more than 2,000 of them in this garden. And the most beautiful monument of Sissi. Sissi was the wife of Francis Joseph, his cousin at the same time. And, and on our left hand, historical town hall. It is the place where our mayor works from. On our left hand side, we have the Burgtheater, Imperial Theater, which is the oldest and most important dramatic theater. Why part of Switzerland? Because of the situation, similar, which was a place where I got on the coach
was built. Old town of Vienna. It has the history of it goes back to the 1st century. Romans came here by, they were heading towards west of Europe or south of Europe. Some of them stayed. Charles, yes. So he was the one who sent this Luitpold Badenberg to this part of the world. He gave him this area around here, and Luitpold Badenberg was responsible for the safety of Charles' empire. And they stayed this Badenberg dynasty. They stayed about 300 years around here, and after them Habsburgs came. So this Rudolf of Habsburg, he was born in a small place in Switzerland. The place is called Aargau, and he was elected for the next king. He did also Czech Bohemian king in the battle near to Vienna, and he was allowed to stay. So his daughters, away from him, is my favorite, Joseph II, the smartest one. He was also kind of handsome. Francis Joseph, you know the one? Yeah, he was the one who started the World War I. And Francis Joseph, he ruled a huge territory, 50 million people. So he had, he needed actually such a big building, such a big Ministry of War. In the ground floor, above windows, you can see some hats with helmets, and these helmets represent every single. Actually, out of red bricks is our Museum and Academy of Applied Arts. What is applied arts? It is nothing else but design. Design, all these things we use in the daily life are here, but all of them, of course, they were designed by great Austrian architects or artists. Have you heard of Gustav Klimt? Yes. Joseph Hoffmann. No, Joseph Hoffmann was actually the most famous designer from the beginning of 20th century. The early exhibition piece would be this first built-in kitchen, first cabinet kitchen, and this one was designed by a lady, by one of the Viennese architects who wanted to have in her. Johann Strauss' walls would be let's say the second anthem of Austria. So Johann Strauss, he was very productive with the man. Sometimes he didn't know in the morning what the aristocracy is going to dance in the evening. He was just producing waltzes. He was also very special. I don't like entry. All these beautiful palaces around us were built for only one family. Imagine this. So the palace on our left hand side is the palace of Ludwig Victor. He has got the nickname Lutti-Wutti. He was homosexual, and 130 years ago it was a no-go, yeah? So he was invited to a ball, and he came in a dress. So his brother Francis Joseph decided to send him to exile, so he was not allowed to come back to Vienna, officially of course. The building opposite of it, where you can see McDonald's, this McDonald's is also kind of historical place in the city, because it is the oldest one in Vienna, so 50 years old. But the building belonged to the man who, his name was Wertheim, and this treasure, and of course the sewing machine. So he became so rich that he was able to build this beautiful palace just opposite of the palace of Ludwig Victor. But if you now look to the right over there, the white building with flags